Out of the I'm loading us up now, so we should be about to be live.
That's all right.
Gotta get you a Tatiana and some Wild Irish Rose, man.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's gonna be purple on the live.
Get that groovy blue. Get us some groovy blue.
Groovy blue.
Sure.
I'm loading us up now, so we should be about to be live.
That's all right.
Want some booms?
Let me see what we got.
Boom Farm, that's back in my day.
Already got Sticks in the building.
Sticks.
G3, what is going on? Somebody said all my favorite channels in the building. PF, what's going on, Mom? Sean, what is going on? How's everybody doing? We're gonna be doing us a special Hump Day live today.
Hump Day.
Oh,
man, it's 23 people in here. I guess, hey, Kevin, you put me, you LeeMack, and Ashhead in here, man.
That's
hey.
it. Actually, they see a bunch of smooth ass brothers and a lame ass white guy on their screen, and they're like, "I got to see what this is all about. I got to check this out and figure out what is going on here."
That's called balance. It's called balance.
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin, I thought you was my brother. Could have fooled me, baby.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be right without James coming in here with the first troll and comment saying some ugly people in this video.
Oh.
How's everybody doing though, man?
That's why we had to leave you out, James, you know.
It was only room for so many. So man, as everybody tuning in, just a Hump Day live. I just wanted to get a live going with some people that you guys know I love and trust, man. And no particular thing we kind of heard from. Maybe we'll answer some questions. Maybe we'll release some information on some things and some topics of some people that's got some things going on. Just kind of coming up, seeing how everybody's doing. Hopefully everybody's week has been going pretty good so far. So we just wanted to kind of tune in and see what everybody's up to. As you guys know, I've been on a hiatus for a little bit. Like I told you guys in the last live stream, doesn't mean that you're going to be seeing me more. I told you in that stream that I probably will periodically pop up on a live stream. Was kind of sitting around doing some stuff today. I said, I'm in the mood. I kind of want to go live today. Reached out to Carson, reached out to Unc, reached out to Kevin. They all agreed to come on and chat with you guys. So we that's what we have. Anybody got anything immediately they want to say? Any new reviews or anything we need to be on the lookout for?
Oh yeah. Hey, listen, I got one. I just reviewed today, and it's coming out Sunday, the Alma Fuerte Plasencia Green. I got that.
Wait a minute. Wait. You still got a little bit of cigar left. Wait a minute. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Hey, I'm not the smartest tool in the toolbox, but I see that you're saying you got a review coming out with half the cigar still there.
That's all I'm gonna say about that.
All right. Kevin, what about you? What you got going on, man? I know you've been doing your normal weekly show.
Yeah, we just been doing our normally weekly shows, concentrating on our Instagram, our TikTok, doing that. And life's just been hectic over here. We haven't done very many reviews this year. I think I've only done 5 reviews this year.
Yep.
Jessica and I are going to sit down tomorrow and we're going to review that new little Herrera Esteli, that little flying pig. I forget.
Yeah, the new limited edition size.
Yeah, I forget what it's called. And then so yeah, that'll be her first review of the year. Yeah, it's we've just been busy, just working on tons of projects. And
so I guess I'm sure later on in the live, I want to touch on some questions with you too. You know, maybe just for me and maybe some content creators that are following along in the stream, just some kind of typical questions, kind of asking what your journey's been like through TikTok and, you know, some pros and cons you think that you have discovered since you started using it.
Yeah, for sure.
Carson, what about you, brother? What you got going on?
Man, I hope everybody caught the unboxing of the Black Line Luxury. That happened a few days ago. The next video that will be coming out is the review of the Partagas Series D #2. That's a Cuban.
Carson smoking Cubans?
That was about 12. that was about 12 years old. Hey, I'm constantly, man, getting called out by a certain guy. Say, you know, man, Carson been smoking good lately. You damn right, I've been smoking good lately.
But here's the thing. But hey, but here's the thing, though. So the thing I always say is, particular people might come into me or come to me and say, well, why don't you review this cigar? Review this. Like I've said before, I feel like, well, and this is a good example. I feel like this is a great group of people, a great group of content creators that are here right now. Me specifically, I try to review cigars that I like. Now, I might run into a cigar that I don't like on film, and that's probably if I'm smoking it for the first time and trying to get the content out before anybody else. So you might run into that. But most of the time, I'm reviewing cigars that I like. You know, LeeMack will pretty much review. I ain't gonna hell. Unc ain't gonna review anything, but he'll touch on some things that maybe I might not particularly touch on. Carson, you got your particular area you stick in, and same thing with Kevin too. You guys have like even Kevin, like I know Kevin will dabble more into like infused cigars or stuff like that. Where you know it's like you got. This is the time to ask any kind of question because you got between us four, you got pretty much any kind of review covered. Anything that you want to ask, one of us four are smoking it or will smoke it. So
yeah, and I think I'm the only one here. I don't know for sure, but I won't review a cigar I've ever smoked before. So I remember you saying that you always want to make sure you smoke the cigar first. Yeah, I want it to be an experience with everybody else. You know, I want you to go through, and it's the same as my unboxings. I do unboxings kind of a little different. You know, I start with the box and then we figure it out together. You know, it's like if I don't know how to put something together, we try and figure it out. And you know, I think people like that. You know, because it's like they're taking that journey with me. It's not like I've already figured it out and given them the answers. It's just, you know, that they're along for the ride with me. It just makes them feel like they're in the room with me.
Hey Kevin,
I think it's pros to everything. Go ahead, Uncle. What were you saying?
Yeah, hey Kevin, I want to say is certain journeys that I don't necessarily want to take with you. I seen you sitting there in front of that damn sign on Instagram, and I said, you know, my comment was, it's certain things.
Kevin's showing his ass. Kevin's showing his ass the past couple of days.
Yeah,
man. I tell you, I was literally earlier today. That picture that I just posted today on Instagram, I was almost getting ready to post the second one, and I was just about to hit like load, and something caught my eye, and I zoomed in. I'm like, oh god, I can't post that one. So it's like, woo.
No, man. I saw that. I remember I logged into Instagram a couple of days ago. I said, man, what the hell is – but you know what? Like I've said before, Kevin is probably the only content creator with cigars that can post the stuff he's been posting and straight up get away with it.
Yeah, I don't –
anybody else posting it, I'd be looking at them like –
you know, Jessica and I we talked about that last night. You know, we sat there, we're just going through names, and she's like, you're it. Like there's nobody else that could, you know, that we know personally that could do that. Feel comfortable doing it and then not give two shits.
I got one other person.
Who's that?
Shirtless Mike.
Yeah.
Shirtless Mike.
I think I don't know, you know, I don't think he'd go where I've gone, you know, so I don't.
Oh, hey, shout out to you too, Shirtless Mike, man. It ain't no disrespect. I think, like I said, it takes a special person to post the kind of stuff that Kevin's been posting the past couple of days.
Yeah.
So, but before we get further on, I want to give a shout out to Brett for the $5 donation, man. Always appreciate you guys for donating. Of course, if you're in the chat, make sure y'all hit the thumbs up or thumbs down.
Oh, yeah. Damn,
smash something. We've been talking about that a lot more recently in the past week with Carson's video, not even just with mine or LeeMack's, but Kevin's too. If y'all are watching the content, hit something. Hit a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I don't think any four of us are really going to care if it's a thumbs up or thumbs down as long as you're hitting something. So
don't hit a thumbs down and let me find out.
See, I always say you can hit a thumbs down. I don't care which way you vote, just vote. It don't cost you nothing to hit that thumbs button, and it just amazes me that, you know, people will watch and say, yeah, man, I really like what you do. I'm going to say this is what Ron's people say. I ain't going to talk about none of my folks. They'll say, yeah, I like Ron. I like what you do, bruh. Whatever. You say, man, could you hit a thumbs up button for me? No,
do something. I can't do that. Do something. That's all that. Hit something, man. Because like I said, sometimes we'll be in the chat and it'll be 100 people in, and it'll be 15 or 20 likes. It's like, come on, y'all. Like now, I know some. Now I'm not saying anything to the people that come in and forget to hit it. but there are some ghost watchers out there, and contrary to any belief, even when I do ghost watch, I still engage with the content, just for the record.
Yep.
I like getting the thumbs down 15 seconds after you load a new video. And it's like, you can't even finish.
Oh,
you
man.
weren't even through my intro yet, you know? And I'm like, oh. And I love it because I'm like, oh, that guy hates me so much. He subscribes and he hit that bell notification. So as soon as I post something, he gives me a thumbs, and I love that guy. I love him so much.
I said it all the time. For you to, if you're setting a premiere or something to just be posted, and a person puts a thumbs down there, either subscribe to your channel or they're searching for your channel all the time, constantly, which to me tells me you're really a fan.
Yeah.
You really like what I'm doing, or you like what whoever's doing it. If, like I said, if I'm setting a premiere and it doesn't air for 6 hours and you got a thumbs down or 2 thumbs down, it's like, man, you ain't even seen what the video's about. You don't even know what's going on. So
I hear you. Hey, what's everybody smoking tonight?
I am smoking a damn, what the hell am I smoking? Hell no, I ain't smoking that. A Viaje Reserve 19 or circa 45. That's what I'm smoking.
Nice,
I was like,
nice.
what am I smoking?
I'm smoking the Room 101 Series HN.
Good one. I like that too.
Carson's smoking good today. Carson's smoking 93.
I'm smoking the Don Carlos Eye of the Shark. Once I go through that one, when I get the mic, I just like to take it, y'all. Once I get through that one, then I'm gonna be smoking the 888. Once I get through with that one, then I'm gonna be smoking.
So you just want to shit on everybody on the panel. That's all right. We get it.
Yeah, see, me and Carlos, we hanging out tonight.
Unc, what you smoking on?
I ain't mad at you. Right off the truck from my nephew, I got a street tacos from Rojas. That's what I'm smoking tonight. Yeah.
That cigar, that brand's been getting a lot of hype lately.
Oh man, the hype beast, man, the hype beast.
It's a lot of hype behind that brand right now.
A lot of hype.
At least there's one guy hyping it up, anyways.
Yeah, man. And listen, shout out to my brother Vic, the High Desert Man. He's over here in the chat. Vic called me up. I said, Vic, you all right, man? You all right? He said, yeah, I don't know what's going on. Somebody's hating on me.
I'm just over here tending my goats and chickens. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, killing mongoose and stuff. I'm just minding my business.
Yeah.
That's Cincillo Black. I see you, Chase. That's a good cigar.
So, quick question for all you guys too. So I know me and Unc talk all the time. Actually, everybody on the panel I talk to multiple times a week. But where do you guys see? Because Unc, you've been around since 2014, somewhere in there, 2014, 15. Kevin, you've been around for probably a year or so longer than me, and Carson came a couple months after me. Where do you guys feel like from when you started the community was to where it is now? Do you guys feel like overall the cigar community is getting better or getting stronger? Or you think people are becoming knowledgeable? Or what are you seeing in it? Are you guys feeling comfortable with where you are seeing the community head to? Ooh, we got a long pause. I know what that shit means.
You had directed it to LeeMack first, so I was waiting for him to.
Oh, I was like, well, let somebody else come. You know what? What I see is a lot of new smokers, which I love. I see a lot of new smokers coming into the community that are able to step up and say, hey, I'm new. I don't know much or whatever. I just found your channel, or, found Ron, Kevin, Ashhead, somebody, Fred, anybody's channel, And so I always offer myself as a resource, and I'm like, but just email me because it could be something that you don't know. I know how it was when I first started. It was these guys that knew a whole lot about cigars, and I didn't know nothing about cigars. And they just were having a conversation in a language that I didn't understand.
Right.
So, I think that part of the cigar community has gotten better. Now, there is a bad part, but we'll talk about that later.
Of course. Kevin, what about you? Where do you feel like the community's headed? Or you feel like since you started your channel, do you feel like you are in a pretty good space with the community, or do you feel like it's kind of stable, or you feel like it's going down, or what you think?
It's definitely going up, and I was the same way. LeeMack, I started off watching some of these guys that, that had all this information and knew what they were talking about. But now I look back and I'm like, those guys don't know shit. You know, it's like they have no idea what they're talking about, you know. And I'm not an expert on anything by any means. But yeah, I think it's I love interacting with new people. There's definitely a ton of new cigar smokers, but just a ton of new cigar reviewers, you know, and
It's
that's
like every day is 5 or 6 channels popping up.
every day.
Every day.
And you know, and it's just I had someone reach out to me the other day, and it's like, hey, you know, give a look at my channel, and he only had 4 videos up, and I came back and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Every video you have sucks. You can't hear a word you're saying. The first video you had music playing over the video, it was twice as loud as you.
Yeah.
And but then I told him, I said, with that being said, let me help you. Let me give you some points. So we talked for about an hour back and forth.
Right.
Just, you know, take some of these pointers, you know, get better, do better. I said, you know, reach back out to me in a month, you know, and I'll come back in and, you know, watch one or two of your videos, and I'll see how you're doing, and you know, I can help you along. But which is good that,
Carson,
you know,
what about you? How do you?
Oh no, go ahead.
Go ahead, Kevin. What were we saying?
No, I said just a lot of guys want to be more part of the industry than I think they ever, no matter how it is, they just want to be part of it.
Right. What about you, Carson? I know, like, of the newer, me and you are of the, like, kind of quote unquote, like, well, Kevin too. I feel like we're kind of like the new. Me and Kevin have kind of labeled ourselves as the rebirth of the newer, new school. But Ashley, you definitely are part of that too. What do you feel like since you first started, and then, you know, starting your channel and then getting more engaged with the content creators, more engaged with the followers? How do you feel like the journey has been for you so far?
Really, when you first asked the question, the first thing came to mind was the same thing that LeeMack said about, you know, a lot of the new smokers coming into it. And with that being said, with where I am now with my channel, I've had a conversation with a friend of mine just today, and he was like, man, more content. When are you gonna put some more stuff out? I said, well, one thing that I've kind of transitioned to is kind of the focus on quality over quantity. Right. Because right now, where I'm at in my growth, I feel like I got a responsibility with so many new smokers coming in order to put out some quality content so that they can see somebody. If I'm talking about a cigar, I won't be just throwing out some wild, crazy stuff out there in the air, just saying just any old thing, pronouncing the names of stuff right, and, you know, making sure your sound quality is right, your video quality is right, all of that stuff. You got a great responsibility, because when they tuning in, they're tuning in for a reason, whether it's to make fun of you, whether it's to learn something from you, whatever it is they're tuning in for. I want to meet all of their needs. So if they're there to make fun of me, I want to meet that need, give them something to make fun of me about. If they're there to learn something, I want to meet that need to make sure that they're there to learn something about the cigar so that they too can be a better cigar smoker, and they can smoke these badass cigars like I be smoking all the damn time from now on. Like the review that's coming soon on the I forgot my thought trying to be funny. Like the review that's coming soon on the Cuban cigar. And also, I got another review that's coming soon too. I want y'all to look out for. I don't even know where I laid it. I laid the cigar down. On this this new Avo cigar.
Yeah, I know you messaged me about that one.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do a review on that one too real soon. And I think Kevin said it. I forget. Either Kevin, you said you like to smoke the cigar first, then review it, or you just like to smoke it live. I like to review cigars before. I don't. A lot of the ones I review, sometimes I have not smoked the cigar before.
Yeah, that's why I like doing it.
Yeah. I just like coming out just raw, just doing something. Now, if I've smoked the cigar before, I'll say that, or I'll try to do something like I did on my Mortal Core video, where I'll just do a breakdown of the cigar and just talk about what's everything about that cigar that makes that cigar special or makes that cigar what it is if I've smoked it before. But if I'm just, you know, just freestyling, hey, I'm just gonna just give an honest review of what I think of the cigar. And again, I know I'm kind of getting a little long-winded, my bad, y'all. But
no,
but one thing I'm starting to kind of try to get away from is to giving. I know it's important to give my opinion of the cigar. That's important, but I don't always want to say whether I dislike or like or whether I hate or not, because I know that cigar smoking is subjective, and something that I dislike a lot of people may love. We keep making the joke about the Groovy Blue. Well, shit, I sell more Groovy Blues at the shop than anything. More Groovy Blues than any damn cigar. We just recently ordered 400 boxes of Groovy Blues. We got more Groovy Blues in our inventory than any damn thing. I won't smoke the cigar. So my point is, just because I don't like it, don't mean somebody else may not like it. So my thing is to tell you everything about the cigar so that you can make a well-informed decision of whether or not you want to smoke it or not.
And one thing question I've got for everybody in the chat panel, because I know I've gotten this comment quite a bit, personal. They don't always watch me for the review. A lot of times people are like, I don't care what you're smoking. I really don't care. It's just, when I'm in my garage smoking my cigar, I'm smoking with you and you're like a friend. Or we love watching yours and Jessica's interaction. I said, I can get like on LeeMack. I'm gonna tell you straight up, 99% of the time, I don't give two shits about what LeeMack is. I connect with LeeMack. I want to know, and I get everything about his life, what's going on. I want to know. I want to meet the guy that drives the goddamn train and honks the horn. I got to meet that guy someday. And
Pablo.
Yeah. So and that's why I don't know. We do reviews just a little bit different, but like Ash had, I try not to give my opinion too much, but do you guys feel that too? Do you guys ever get that? It's like people's like, I just like watching you guys because you're just real. You're just honest people.
So for me, shout out. First of all, I want to give a shout out again to PK Loaster for the $10 donation. Appreciate you, man. For me, I'm gonna speak for me, and that's why I think that it's important to have a lot of different style of reviewers and a lot of different reviewers out there. LeeMack always reverts back to it and says, why are you doing it? What is your purpose for doing the channel? For me, I know that there are particular goals and particular marks that I'm trying to reach. So that's why my channel is geared the way it is, why I structure it the way I do it. I'm not the guy that you're going to tune in to hear the stories. I'm not the guy that's going to tune in or you're tuning in to laugh. I want to be the guy that if you want to make a sound decision about X cigar, that like, hey, I don't know about this cigar. Oh, Ron's reviewed it. Let me go watch a quality review of this cigar and get a fair opinion about it. That's my goal. That's not everybody's goals. Like you said, Kevin, like you say in your description. Look, I'm not the best palate. I don't have the best palate. I'm not here to really give you a full-on review. You might get a laugh or two, but what you're going to get is my honest opinion. I'm here for different reasons. With Unc, you're going to get a review. You might get a life lesson or something out of it. Carson has his reasons too. But at the same time, no matter what your reasonings are, I think the integrity and the honesty is still important to be displayed. Whether you're trying to be funny, whether you're trying to be a straight-up reviewer, whatever the goal is, I still feel like you have a duty to the community to be full of integrity and just be honest and straightforward. And for me, that's what drives me is no matter when I cut the camera on or whenever I upload a video, I want people to know like he's going to give you an honest review of that cigar.
So let me jump in here, Ron. Let me say this because there was somebody asking a question on there. Vintage Cigar was saying, I want to start, but I feel like it's saturated, so maybe I should go do something else. So that question still is there. Why are you doing what you're doing, right? And I'm still waiting for somebody to come on and say, man, it looks like y'all get a lot of free shit, and I want some of the free shit. That's why I'm here. That's a channel I probably would watch because you're being honest. It's like, look, man, I'm just smoking cigars, but I see y'all getting free shit. I want some of this free shit, right? One of the things you have to be able to do is you have to be able to craft a story, whatever that story is, and however that story is, however long that story is going to be. My story is going to be 25 minutes. I tried to make it shorter. It's going to be 25 minutes because in the middle of one damn thing, then I'm off talking about something else. And I'm like the old people, they just all over the place. They come back to the cigar and all this. Like Kevin said, I ain't watching it for the cigar. I want to find out what's going on. Is your truck still broken? What's going on with the grandkids? you know, are you up? Are you down? What is the story, right? You got to be able to tell the story. So there's some people say, well, I can't do that. I said, well, when I'm talking, it's just like I'm talking to you guys here. When I'm doing a review, I'm talking to you guys, right? I'm talking to people. I have relationships that I have built with people in the community. There are people that call me. Like I said, Vic called me tonight. He was like, yeah, well, what's up, brother? Whatever. So if I'm talking about Vic, it's not just somebody that I've seen online. It's Vic, somebody I talked to. Vic and I hung out. Hope to hang out with everybody else or whatever. So all these things are going on. That's what I want to know about. If you want to come on and say, well, I'm coming in and I'm smoking this cigar and it's got this flavor and it's got that flavor and it's 92. Okay, so what? There's 100 other people that already tell you that they think it's an 89 and 96 or whatever. Yep. So what? Why do we want to watch you? What makes you so different? Now, if you got another angle on it, it's different. We always talk about, Ron and I will always talk about Charles Wallingford and his start. And he was the Adventures of a Rookie Cigar Reviewer.
Fantastic series.
So people that were rookie cigar reviewers said, well, let me watch this guy because he's new. When I go to watch truck driving videos or whatever, I'm watching somebody who's a owner operator or a carrier or whatever, because I want to see what they're doing because I'm trying to do the same thing. You got to have an angle. You got to have an angle, and sometimes your angle works, sometimes your angle doesn't. And those are the people, like Kevin says, I download videos, I'm in the truck or whatever, I'm listening to people. I want to watch people I like that are exciting, that are interesting. I love when Kevin and Jessica do videos. Those are like my favorite reviews because I love them. You know, Kevin will be like, well, it's this, it's that. And she's like, dude, stop thinking so much. You always do that. Stop that shit, you know? And I love that, you know, but that's why I like watching them. I love the interaction.
And so, and with that being said, too, Carson, so when you got your channel up off the ground, what was the driving force behind you? What was the reasoning for you to say, you know what? I'm going to start me a channel. I'm going to start a channel and I'm going to do this to contribute to the cigar community.
The first thing was my love for the leaf. And my thing is, I just said, you know what? I just want to share my passion for cigar smoking with everybody. And I just want my passion for cigar smoking to be contagious. And even now, that's what my goal is, just to make my positivity and my passion for cigar smoking contagious. Like, you know, some people say that it's oversaturated and everything. A lot of times I'll be like, it ain't enough. It ain't enough.
It ain't enough good content. We'll put that out. There's not enough good content.
Enough good to, I agree. It ain't enough good content. And it ain't enough smokers. I like the cigar community so much because it brings so many different walks of people together on different levels. That was one of the goals also, just to connect with so many different type of people. And another thing I always think of, I follow a lot of bourbon channels and I see the bourbon community and they are huge. I follow some wine channels and I see the wine community and they are huge, real snobby, but they are huge. But then I say, you know what? The brotherhood of the cigar community may not be as big, but we are a whole lot better people than the bourbon community, than the wine community. So if we can just contribute to the community the same way those guys got and just become as large as them and as big as them, man, the sky's the limit for the cigar community.
but Carson, the problem is, and I'll even go on record and say that though, like, because I watch, all of us, I think, watch a lot of different content, right? So like with the cigar content, you see it, but when we're watching bourbon, when I'm watching fragrance, when I'm watching clothes or shoes, excuse me, a lot of these channels don't mind, and that's why even something like this for me is very important to show. I don't care about collaborating with channels if I believe in what they're doing and they're good channels. I feel like a lot of these channels, especially a lot of the ones that have come before us, it's almost like LeeMack and Kevin have mentioned before, nobody wants to share a piece of the pie. But my thing is, if you see somebody that's taking the craft seriously, that's putting out a high quality product, what's the problem with giving them a shout out or saying, hey, you got, because you're not, the way I feel is you're not going to hurt me or my numbers. The best thing I could do is take my audience or the people that support and follow me and put it towards another one, because guess what? I might come out Monday and Tuesday. Carson may do videos Thursday and Friday. Does Thursday. So that person that likes my content is able to get good quality content all during the week. But what I've seen is a lot of these bigger channels, it's almost like it's an allergic reaction, or they're afraid to mention channels' names, or they're afraid to mention, y'all know the textbook answer, I don't watch any other cigar reviewers. I'll say that now, that's complete bullshit. Any channel that's telling you that they don't pay it, in order to stay relevant or stay on the top, you have to stay in tune with what's going on or what's popular or what's trendy. There's no way that you just are blind-eyed and not paying attention, because guess what? The people that really are doing that, you look at their numbers and you look at what they're doing, it's the reason why they're not progressing, the reason why they're not growing, because they're not paying attention to what's going on.
So let me pull that thread a little bit, right? So we are talking about the positivity and all this other stuff. What about the negativity, right? So we have 4 different channels on here. We have 4 different pallets, right? And Ron and I will smoke. We talk about cigars, but we also talk about a lot of other different stuff, right? A lot of times we get on the phone, we'll be on the phone for an hour and we ain't talked about a cigar yet, you know? But there are people who will say, well, this guy does it that way and I don't like the way he does it, so therefore I'm going to basically shit all over him. Like, and I'll give an example, right? I know if it's a Drew Estate cigar comes across and Kevin is reviewing it, Kevin gonna like that cigar, of course. He's a Drew Estate guy. He likes what they do. That's his thing. That's cool, right? I might not like those cigars, but the same thing comes to Steve Saka. I love Steve Saka. I don't like a lot of his cigars, but it's a way that you can share a difference in opinion without tearing somebody else down. I say all the time on my channel, go over there and watch my man Kevin over at Cigar Prop. You know, somebody asked me the other day, where you get that measuring tool from? I got it from Kevin at Cigar Prop. Here's the link. Go over there and see what he's doing. He has a different opinion than I do. But what about when you have channels? It's not only just the big channels, Ron. You got some small channels that will almost seem like they have a vendetta against somebody else and say, hey, listen, I'm going to do everything that I can do to tear this other channel down. If I don't like a channel, I don't watch the channel. I don't subscribe to it. I don't give them a thumbs up. I don't give them a thumbs down. They come across my notification. I keep moving. That's not somebody I like. So what about that negative side of it?
For me, I feel like in the almost 2 years that I've been around, it's definitely been some of the negative too. I don't know if it's a combination of just being kind of envious and jealous of what's been going on, or I don't know if it's the relationships that matter. But for me, I look at it too, of course, I understand the dynamic that everybody's not going to like you, no matter if you could be the most perfect person or the most perfect reviewer, everybody's not going to like you. But for me, I feel like as long as you're genuine and you know why you're doing it and you're staying consistent and solid with your goals and what you're doing, you'll be fine. Even like me and Lee talk all the time too. There are people, me and Lee, I've been a fan of Lee pretty much since the channel started. It's been on record and I've said it. There's plenty of people that watch Lee that don't like me and vice versa. There's people that watch me that may not particularly like Lee. That's cool. But at the same time, I feel like Lee is being true to himself. He's staying honest. That's who he is. Guess what? It ain't your flavor. But at the same time, for me, speaking specifically for me, if I don't like anything, like Lee just said, I'm not going to like or dislike it, but I'm not going to promote it either. Somebody asked me, man, I don't really, people have asked me a lot of times in chats, what about this channel? What about this one? All I'll say is I don't watch it. Whether I'm never going to say, I think it's a shitty channel or I think it's great. If you can read between the lines and you follow me long enough, you can know through context clues, that ain't really my jam. That ain't really my channel, but I ain't finna rain all over it. That's cool. If that's what you like to watch, cool. If not, that's great. It's a lot of channels. Now, with that being said too, I think Carson hit on a really good point earlier. Quality is very important. And that's what I feel like a lot of the reviewers are lacking, is a lot of quality. I think that a lot of these channels feel like I could just flood the market with video after that, every day. There has to be some kind of strategy or strategic measure to it. You don't become successful without strategy. I could put out a video every day. If I'm getting 50 views on every video and I've been doing it for 6 to 8 months and there's no kind of growth or substantial backing behind me or no gaining or following, I'm doing something wrong. I'm not putting myself in the right position. I'm not bonding myself with the right people. I'm not asking the right questions to try to elevate it. And quality of content doesn't necessarily mean it looks pretty or I got the nice transitions or anything. Quality of content could mean what's coming out of your mouth. a lot of these channels, you'll hear them talking. It's just like, well, where are you getting this from? And so for me, I feel like I say it all the time. Lee said, and Lee has always said, the pie is big. The pie is big. There's room for everybody. But for me, I combat that and say, there's room for everybody, but you got to be here for the right reasons. You can't just be here just for the sake of putting out videos, because it shows. And then in 12, you've been around for a year and you've put out 200 videos and only got 5,000 views in 200 videos. That's not good. That's not a good percentage. You probably don't need to be doing what you're doing. So, you know, you got to walk that fine line. Like the quality's got to be there too. And for me, when I look at a lot of these new channels that tell me to check them out, I look at it like Kevin said earlier. Sound is bad. Visual quality is bad. To me, this is my opinion. I feel like a lot of these people aren't knowledgeable enough to really go out there and give a full opinion to push towards somebody else. I'm not saying your opinion is not warranted or not valuable, but what grants you the permission, or what solidifies you to say, hey, I feel like I'm confident enough to give out good and credible information towards the community.
Yeah, if you can't do the research and figure out how to get a good microphone,
yep,
you don't have to have a $600 microphone like I got. You can get a $20 microphone on Amazon,
yep,
and plug it in your phone and have it close enough to your face to where people can at least hear you. You can clean up your background. If you got a pile of garbage, if you can't see that on the screen, you know, there's something wrong. It's 2021. There's no more excuses to do bad videos on YouTube.
I agree.
There's enough information. There's enough reviews on product. You don't have to have, you know, they make like knockoff GoPros that are fantastic for $50. You know, it's there's no reason to have a cluttered background unless you're sitting in my office. Don't pay attention to my background. It's
hey,
but yeah.
This is why. So I got my buddy Big O over here too. He's not a content creator, but then I would ask, you know, like that's why a very important reason why I got him around too, because I know he's one of the people like LeeMack, like all of you. If I feel like me particularly, if I'm not putting out a high quality product or something is not good, he's gonna check me on it. Hey man, you looked a little down in this video. Man, that video kind of sucked. Your energy's off. There's gonna be something off. So I would ask, not as a content creator, but just as a straight up viewer, you've watched quite a few channels now. What do you feel like is because O's been probably smoking cigars now for what, about a little bit over a year? So when you watch content, what is a determining factor for you if you feel like that's a person that I feel like I want to watch whenever I pull up at home? I'm in the backyard, I got me a drink poured, I want to watch a review. And it might not even be the cigar that you might not touch or anything, but you still demand a quality product.
As crazy as this sounds, number one is always being comfortable in your abilities. Like, centers are centers, point guards are point guards. We don't ask Hakeem Olajuwon to run the point and get 15 assists. You stay in your lane and you do well in your lane. You can venture out, you know, try to expand your brand and everything. But if your lane is, say, like the wine tasters, you don't see them smoking Black and Miles, promoting Black and Miles, you know.
Right.
Once they perfect their craft and be good at what they do, people appreciate it. Like he was saying, he promote the Groovy Blues. There's nothing wrong with Groovy Blues. If that's their lane, they respect it. They don't say, well, I don't like Groovy Blues because maybe LeeMack don't like it. You know, like he got backwoods, you know. Shout out to the rollouts. But you know, it's all about being comfortable in your ability, riding your lane and being great in your lane. And another thing too is adaptability. You know, like I said, you know your audience. I won't say cater to your audience, but if you know that's your brand and that's how you do,
don't compromise on it.
Don't compromise who you are. That's the thing.
You know, you hit the nail. Adaptability. Some guys can't adapt. I remember going back. This is probably about 18 months ago now. You know, right around there. Another cigar reviewer that has, you know, a channel with a few thousand subscribers. You know, he'd reached out to me one day, and he didn't like Jessica on the screen with me. You know, and he goes, and his exact words were, "You keep them how you got them." So you stay in your lane. You don't try anything new. You just do your reviews the same way every single time, and you don't change. People, your subscribers, they don't want change. They don't want anything new. They want you to keep doing the same thing you do. And I'm like, that is the dumbest thing.
I was gonna say that's terrible.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that's terrible.
You can't, and that's the reason why he doesn't get any views. That's why he gets 50 views on each one of his videos.
Yeah, Lee makes the prime or the point essential example of that. When I first started watching LeeMack, his reviews looked nothing like they did today. LeeMack was on a folding chair in his garage with his cell phone sitting right in front of him. But the quality and the quality of the content was there, and relatability. Relatability is a big factor too. And then when I watched LeeMack, I felt like he's being himself, and I can trust it. I see so many channels out now, and we've all talked about this on different streams and different videos. So many people think that, all right, if Lee or Cigar Prop or Ash is doing this, let me do this too because it's being successful for them. What's successful for them may not be successful for you. Yep. Be yourself.
Yep.
Be yourself and trust me. I said it all the time, Kip. There are channels that are meant to get to 50,000. There are some meant to get to 20, and there are some that are only meant to get to 1,000. That's fine. You just get creative and find ways to make it work for you. Guess what? There might be a channel out there with 1,000 subs making quite a bit of coin. If we're going to talk about finance, if they know how to market themselves and they're consistent. Even looking at the Cigar of the Month Club that I helped curate, I never go on record and say we're the best club ever out there. We're the best. And like LeeMack says, there's different clubs for everybody. But what I will say is good about Black Lion is I strive on being consistent. I'd much rather put a 7 or 8 out of 10 box every month than to have one month being a 10, one being a 3, one being a 6, then we get a 9. I'd much rather have a 7 or 8 every month. Because guess what? Those people are going to say at the end of the day, damn, that box looks better that month, but shit, I've been here for 9 months and I haven't had a shitty box yet. I'd much rather have that.
And Ron, and also, the thing is, there's nothing wrong with, I'm going to say, helping your competition, right?
Yep.
Because
we all are competition on screen right now.
Of course. And there'll be things like I told Ron, we talk about his series or whatever. So I've told Ron something. So man, you really need to do this because this would help it. Ron said, yeah, I know I need to do that or whatever. I've talked to Kevin. I said, Kevin, you really should do that. And Kevin said, yeah, but I'm trying to do this. I think you should go that way. Kevin to say, but I'm doing this over here. And I'm trying to see if I can make this work over there. Okay, cool. So if the advice is not taken, at least you could say in love, hey, listen, I gave you some advice that I think, in my opinion, will work. But like Ron said, what works for me ain't gonna work for everybody else. So you think that you come and you try to do something the same as I do it, it'll never work the same way for you. And it really goes back to why are you doing this? Again, if you want the free shit, say you want the free shit. But I will say that I'll go on record and say that I did reviews for about 3 years, probably before anybody sent me a cigar at all. And that was probably from a viewer. I had a viewer that said, hey, listen, I want you to try this. Can you smoke it? Can you do that or whatever? I went to Cigar Fest every year. We got about 100 cigars. I said, ooh, I got stuff I can review. and that was, if you go back and you look at my first 3 years of reviews, they are all General or Altus, whoever it was that came out of Cigar Fest. I didn't ask anybody to do that. And then when I was trying to beat, Cigar Obsession to the punch or whatever, and my local shop had it and I could get it out before he did, I'm going to go, ooh, I'm going to go do that. Now, when I do that, maybe I'll get 500 views where he gets 5,000 views. Yeah. But at least I know in this one, I was first. It's all competition, but do I look and say, well, he's a big channel and he gets that and I'm going to hate on him? It's like, no, why am I hate on him? I wish him more success because like you say, like Ash had said, there's not enough good quality content out there. So I want to see somebody else do it.
You say it all the time. You say it all the time. And this is for everybody. Like, you should feel this way. Can't nobody do it the way that I do it better than me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same, I said, I don't particularly care for Brian, too much, but, he does his thing. He does a great job. He's developed a loyal following. Yep. I want everybody to do good and get more subscribers because when they're watching you on their phone or on their device, YouTube is, they're putting our pictures next to them. Hey, we think you might like this guy. You might like this guy. So I want everybody to do good because if the more good content and more content creators that are doing great, that's more chances that they can find me as well.
Right. And that's why I think, and that's why I wanted to say too, like, I just think, like he just said, we all are competition here, but it's like, nobody wants to see anybody doing poorly, genuinely. Like, if you're putting out a good quality product, we're all gonna be there to stand behind you, because at the end of the day, somebody growing means everybody else is, even if me or LeeMack or Kevin or Ash are growing at 1,000 per month, that means we might be growing 20 a month. So we're still growing, though. The community is getting better. The community is growing, so.
Yeah.
Quick shout out to John Wilhoy for the $20 donation. He said, "Hey, Ron, LeeMack, Cigar Prop, and Ash Head, James, Double R Army, Smoking a Padron, Damasu from Black Line, Padron Blind by Awesome Picks, Love the Water, Fall of Facts running through this stream. Appreciate you, John." And then we got Danny in the building. Please do more of these, like the Cigar Reviewer Roundtable. And you know, Danny, this won't be hard to do, because again, like I say, for lack of better words, to just be quite frank, all of us fuck with each other. So it's not hard. This was not planned a week in advance. This wasn't done, like, this was literally within the last hour. I reached out to everybody, hey, y'all want to hop on? And it was cool. Like, the same thing with me. If I feel like Kevin has done that with the Illusione stream with Brian Motala. He reached out to me a couple of days prior. I was like, I ain't got shit going on here. Yeah, I'll hop on with you, because I fuck with Kevin, you know, like that's my guy. Yeah, I'll hop on, you know. So competition, but at the same time, I understand the greater good. I'm still gonna help my brother, even though I want to help myself as well too. So I think a lot of time, I think Lee, you mentioned that earlier too. Some of these smaller channels, I think, go out their way to try to not put attention towards bigger channels, but you're not thinking that channel getting bigger is obviously gonna spread love to everybody. It's gonna make everybody bigger. So.
And I just want to take a minute and give some shine to my brother Ashhead. He kind of quiet down there on the bottom, but
Ashhead on that on that eye of the shark beating his ass.
Yeah, hey, listen. But when it comes to being original and doing things in your own way, I love the way that Ashhead does his thing. He got his background. He always has some kind of motivational quote or something in the back. There was a while back during football season where he was doing his Friday night football thing. You know, he's talking about it. He loves sports. That's his thing. So, like, somebody that loves sports can go over there with Ashhead and just really fuck with him on a Friday night when he's doing his Friday night thing or whatever. I like that. So I'm like, yeah, do more of that, because that's what people like. You got to be able to just support the people that you like. Come on, Ashhead, say something. Come on, man. Quiet there, brother.
Yeah, I was actually just waiting for y'all to stop talking. Just I was like, they wearing it out. Yeah, dang, man. I done went through this whole bottle of Bland. I'm about to fire another cigar. They wearing it out. But what I was gonna say on the to address your question about, you know, all the LeeMack's question about the negative stuff that's going on out there. I really think the positive stuff that goes on in the cigar community and the quality content, we just got to outshine the negative content. We just got to put more stuff out there. LeeMack is more consistent, I would say, than most people, maybe because I probably just watch more of LeeMack stuff, because I'll find myself going back watching some of his old videos, especially if it's on like a cigar that I pick up that I'm smoking. I'll be like, I bet you LeeMack did a review on this cigar before.
But LeeMack got 1,000 videos.
And I'll find it. And you guys are the ones who I watch, all three of you guys, I watch y'all stuff more consistently and everything. I can tell you guys the cigars that I smoke that y'all mentioned. Kevin, I smoked the Florida Sun-Grown because I heard you mention the Florida Sun-Grown before, and that is a badass cigar. LeeMack, I don't always watch LeeMack for the cigars, even though LeeMack smoked great cigars, sent me some great cigars, but I watch LeeMack, because I know he's gonna take us higher.
Come on now.
And you know, I'm getting something. Today is gonna be a good day, and I'm getting something. So that part of it with LeeMack. Ron, you know what? I used to go look at the Padron section, and I used to be like, man, I ain't finna smoke these high-ass cigars. But now I got a dang old school cedar chest that my grandma used to keep at the foot of her bed, and I know I got 3 boxes of Padrones in there based upon Ron's recommendation. Because when I start smoking the Padrones, I'm like, these motherfuckers is bad. No wonder he smoked so many of these.
Hey,
LeeMack.
you see how Lee quiet over there right now, don't it?
Yeah. I was like, these Padrones is fire. If you want, and I tell customers this all the time. I had some guys to walk into the shop, and they was like, we want some. These guys were they were from, I forget exactly where they were from, but they was like, we're looking for Nicaraguan cigars. First thing out my mouth was, well, 90% of what's in the shop got some Nicaraguan tobacco in it.
Right.
But if you want Nicaraguan and you want to taste the essence of Nicaragua, if you want to taste the volcanic soil, if you want to be able to say, I've smoked Nicaragua, I've just smoked the country, you might want to go to that Padron section, and you might want to get that 1964 anniversary and smoke the hell out of it. Because
that was a good year, wasn't it?
Hey, 64 was a great year. Hey, listen, and people will say that I don't like the Padrones, but I had a day. I came in, I did a load, I dropped my truck off at the mechanic for a little minor maintenance or whatever. I went by the shop. I said, give me that 64 Maduro. I'm on it. And I just sat out in front of the shop with nobody else, and I was smoking a cigar. And as brought up earlier about the community, right? So we had an old guy came up. He was waiting for his food. He was smoking a cigarette. He said, listen, I'm going to come by here. He said, I keep coming by here. I see y'all in here. I'm going to come by and sit down and smoke a cigar. But he sat down. We started talking about food. We started talking about the kids, family, travel, where he had been in Germany, New Orleans, everywhere. We talked about all of these things. I don't know this guy from a hole in the wall. I never met this guy. We sat down and we had a great conversation. When his wife came out, he said, man, I had a good time talking with you. I said, I enjoyed you too, brother. You have a good night and be safe. That's what the community is all about. When I go to my lounge, we got a guy, he's an airline pilot. He flies a private plane for a client. That's what he does. We have like financial people. We got police and detectives and security guards, EMT and firemen and retired people, teachers. We have all different kind of people. We sit down in that circle, and if you were to look at that circle from the outside, you would say that these people don't have anything in common. And we sit down, we have a great conversation. The hours go by, you look up, like Ash had said, I gotta light up something else because the conversation is so good. I'm gonna just keep on smoking and keep on talking. I'm having a good time.
That's a fact. I think, with me and Big O, like when he first got over to the station, he wasn't smoking as much, but I would sit out in this specific room, and that's where I would hang out all the time. I would sit there and smoke cigars. Eventually, we had so much in common, conversing, and then eventually he grabbed a cigar, and then eventually he got to the point where he smoked as many cigars as me, and it's like, but I'm gonna tell you the most sacred moment that I have with people in general. This first, I'm just disclosing this now, but like sometimes I'll be in a room with O or something, and he'll step in there and we'll smoke a cigar, and we really won't even talk. He'll be looking on his phone. I might be looking on mine. We'll sit there and we're just enjoying the ambiance and the environment. It's just that cigar. That's why I said the cigar it's not a hobby. It's a lifestyle. We just sit there and we might say 5 words to each other. I might like, hey man, look at this video. He'll laugh and we'll go back to doing whatever we're doing. And it's just like, it's an unspoken language. Like we'll know the days that we can go in and talk a lot. And then some days you just come in, it's like, it ain't really required to do a lot of talking. You can just tell, like we just in here smoking, we chilling, we relaxing. That's what it is. We both facing whatever cigar we smoking. And man, that's what it is. So for me, it's like a cigar covers everything. It covers the highest points of your life, the lowest points of your life. You could literally pull out a cigar for anything, whether you're celebrating, whether you're sad, remembering somebody. You can smoke a cigar for anything. So for me, that's why I said at this point where I feel like comfortably, I'll smoke cigars until they throwing dirt on top of me, just because I know what it means to me. And for me, I know everybody's not going to feel the same, but I like to be around people that feel that passionate about cigars like I do. It ain't even about flavor notes. It ain't about what I rate the cigar or whatever. It's like you just said earlier, whether you're smoking a Groovy Blue, or a leather rose or a Java mint or whatever. Like we all like what we like, but we all are just enjoying the act of smoking and just conversing and being around each other, being in good company of good people. That's what it's mainly about.
That's
So,
what it's about.
yeah.
You know, I could probably say 75% of the time that Jessica and I are smoking together, be either in the studio here or out on the back deck.
Yep.
We don't talk. We're just, you know, we're sitting next to each other. We're on our phones, or I'm on my computer and she's on her phone. But it's that connection. It's not, you know, because there's sometimes I'll be in here and she'll be out on the deck smoking a cigar. And I miss that. You know, it's like I can't feel that connection. So like, I'll stop what I'm done. We'll go out and hang out with her. Even though we're not going to talk, I'm just going to be next to her, you know, because it's just that connection of
I'm gonna tell you what, Kevin, for me, what's impressed me so much about you too, like even from just following you pretty much from the beginning of my cigar journey, what I felt was very important with you, because it's like we all have our own goals and what we feel is important. But the moment that you told me, I remember me and you were talking last year and you were like, hey man, I'm gonna slow down on my shows this year. I'm gonna focus on other things. So, and I can tell the difference in your level of energy and how you talk on camera. You're not as beat down as you seemed like you were last year. You know what I mean? And even, you know, like I'm the same way. Some days we get on shows and videos and you can just tell. Help you what, buddy? Baby sis, what's she doing? Mama just said she's okay, buddy.
Now for our father of the year segment.
And see, when Ron talked about, I thought he was going to go here on the sacred moment, and we've talked about this. Sometimes when you're smoking a cigar, you just sit there and you're just looking at the smoke, and you're just smoking it, and you're just looking at the smoke. You're in your own world. It don't matter whether I'm smoking that backwoods, the Padron, an $80 cigar, a $2 cigar. I'm just sitting here looking at the smoke. I went to my cardiologist the other week or whatever. He says, well, do you smoke? I said, well, I smoke cigars. Do you smoke? I said, yeah, about one a day. He said, well, you know, you ought to think about giving that up. I said, well,
yeah, right.
You ought to think about getting me another damn cardiologist, because one of the things that I will tell you is that stress kills, right? And stress manifests itself in all kinds of ways. And that's why on my channel, I will at times talk about mental health. And people will say, well, it looks like everything is going good in your world. You say you're having a good day every day. Everything is all right. Look like you got plenty of money. Everything is good. And I will say, you know what? Shout out to my sister, Tracy. She tell me all the time, it's a great day. She's Daddy Mac. She called me Daddy Mac. She said, it's a great day, but I've been having some crappy days because there's a lot of stuff going on that ain't necessarily good right now. And I said, yeah, I understand that, Tracy. Sometimes we have those days. So, you know, I just shared the story on my Patreon page to say, you know, 2020 was a tough year. It was a tough year for me. Mentally, it was a tough year. And I know what it feels like to go into that slide and, you know, maybe not necessarily depressed, but you are at the point where you are just not right. You are not like you used to be. You're not yourself. Well, what good does it do to put an image on screen and say everything is all right all the time? That's why I talk about my truck being broke so much, you know? I say, look, man, this is my dream. This is what I wanted to do. It didn't work out. For the last 4 years with this trucking thing, it didn't work out not the way that I wanted it to. But guess what? Man, I'm still having a great day. I can count up all of the good stuff, but I'm gonna let you know every once in a while, something don't feel right. And if something don't feel right with you, then you need to go check yourself out. If something don't feel right with your man that's sitting next to you or the dude that you see in the shop, hey, we all men. We all want to put up the brave face or whatever, but sometimes you got to reach over to your man. You got to reach out to him and say, man, you all right? Everything all right? Something don't look right with you. You sure you good? I'm just checking on you. And people know I'll call them up and be like, you all right, man? I'm just checking on you. And you got to check on your people. This is my relationship with cigars. This is how I have that relationship with those people, with the cigars. I can call you up and say, you know, I don't know, man. It looked like you fucking some shit up, man. You all right, man? I gotta just check on you, and I'm just checking on you, and I'm just gonna maybe sometimes tell you some things that you don't want to hear, because I would hope that if the situation was reversed, you would do the same thing for me.
Well, and then I'm gonna say too, Unc, I think even, and you know, it's funny because I feel like me and Kevin kind of hit that wall at the same point. I kind of paused and then listening to Kevin's videos. It feel when I listened to one of your more recent videos, Kevin, when I heard it, it was like a light bulb went off. I said, "Shit, me and Kevin are hitting the wall at the same time. Just where stuff's not really it's fun anymore. It's just kind of I'm tired. Like, but at the same time, it's like you got to be a man enough or a woman enough to say if somebody asks you something, you got to be truthful with them. Uncle says sometimes a lot. He's like, "How are you today?" I'm like, "I'm not. I ain't. This ain't a good day today, man. Like, I don't feel good. I'm tired. I'm stressed out. You know, like you got to you can only say I'm okay for so long, and you can't leave that stuff bottled up. You got to be able to be on. Like I said, and that's why it's important to have people around you that you trust and that you value their opinion. I said it's been days where, or like Lee had a day not too long ago. Talked to him. So what's going on? I said, it ain't a good day today. I stopped texting him. I called him and we talked for probably almost 2 hours. Cause like for me, like that stuff's important. It's like at that point when I hear that, I'm done texting you. We need to talk on the phone. I need to hear your energy. I need to hear where you're going. I need to be able to feel that to try to, for lack of better words, combat and try to see what I can do to help. Now maybe when we get off the phone, you still have to have the realization of what's going on right now. It's not really better. But guess what? For that hour and a half or 2 hours, stuff was a little bit better.
But I'm gonna tell you this: when I got off the phone, I felt a whole lot better. Because, like you say, I was able to get it out. I was able to, at least share with somebody, and I was able to share with somebody that I'm like, damn, I ain't gonna go on Instagram and see, Ron say, yeah, LeeMack having a shitty ass day. This what's going on. I know I ain't gonna hear that, so I could share it with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I've talked about the conversations that I've had, a few conversations with Kevin on the phone, and some of the best conversations that I remember, we were talking about his kids. We was talking about his wife and her listening to the thing I ain't gonna tell the story, but
yeah.
Whatever, the good morning thing or whatever. We were talking about just life stuff, just real man stuff that didn't have nothing to do with cigars, but you're able to say, hey, listen, this is what I'm doing. So when somebody else is doing something, then you try to support them. Ron is doing his tournament. I support that. Kevin is doing some cigar things. He's releasing it this year. I told him the other day, yeah, I picked up 2 bundles just to support. He said, oh, I should be afraid. No, don't be afraid. I'm here to support your effort because this is what you're doing. It's not what I want to do, but it's what you're doing. And because you're doing it, then I support it. Ashhead works at a shop or whatever. I say, oh, that's your shop down there? That's your people or whatever? I go down there, order some stuff online from his shop because that's what they're doing. Ron is putting together some cigars. He did the thing. They sent over samples. Let me give you some ideas about what I think about the samples, even if I smoke the cigar backwards. But this is the part of the love that we share. And I think this is the part. And when I talk about my other brother that I felt like was beating down Vic, this is the part that I'm going, dude, why are you trying to be such a bully to my man and my man is not bothering you? You understand what I'm saying? Don't be a bully. You don't have to like everything that everybody does, but don't be a bully about it. You understand? Because there's it's like Mike Tyson said, everybody got a plan until you get punched in the face, right? Yeah. Everybody is a gangster until a real gangster shows up. So you got to be real careful what you do. You got to be real careful in what you say, because trust me, somebody knows somebody that knows somebody that you're talking about.
Well, and I'm going to say this too. So like, just me talking to you 3 guys too is like, I've said it a lot of times about me, entertaining the idea of retiring already. But it's like, even if I were to have done it, I got relationships with the 3 guys on the screen now. It's like, if I'm not doing videos, I got their numbers. I can call and talk to them about whatever, if any kind of, it goes so much. And that's what the part I think a lot of people forget. It goes so much further than cigars. The cigars are just the common denominator, but we have when it boils down to it and you actually get to talk to them, we have so much more in common. We all are family men. We all have children. We all have different aspirations and goals or stuff or things that we can relate to. That is what I value more than just if we decide to like the same cigar or not. Like me and Kevin joke about a lot of stuff, or me and Carson talk. It's to the point now where I call Carson. He's like, man, every time you call me, if I see your name on the phone, I start laughing because I know you finna be with that bullshit. Same thing with Unc. Like, you know, like I said, me and Unc are solidified, and it's funny because like when I first started the channel, there was so many. Oh man, where's this Ron guy coming out? It's like, man, you can go back and look at my other. I have another channel, 901 Ron. I'm like, you can go back and look at 6-7 years ago. Like I've been watching Lee's stuff. I took a hiatus from commenting and watching cigar content, but that was just me and where I was at in my personal space. But I've always been there. Same thing with Kevin. Before I ever featured on Kevin's show last year, I was already watching his content. I was there from Carson from day one, you know, like, so I think people get the misconception that like, oh, I don't know if it's genuine or authentic. It's like, no, the people that I'm telling you about are the people that you see pop up on screen with me are people that I really fuck with. These are guys that, whether the cigars are there or not, like I like these people. What, you know, these are people that I roll with, period. You know, like we might not agree on everything. Same thing like I was telling you too, Kevin. There's some people in the chat that may not know about it. So go ahead and give us your spiel on the two guys collaboration you did. I want you to bring some light to that. Like Unc said, I purchased 2 samplers, and the first thing Kevin said is, shit, man, your palette's too good. You ain't gonna like the cigar. I said, I don't care. I'm just buying it because I want to support you and what you're doing.
Facts.
So
yeah, so what we're doing with United Cigar and Two Guys Cigars, we've got this little Sticks and Stones pack, and it says on here, do not open until broadcast. And the reason is, if you knew what the cigar was about, you wouldn't buy it. If you smoked it because someone gave it to you, you wouldn't like it. But if you were smoking it and I told you the story, as soon as you were done, you'd light up another one. You'd be like, get the fuck out of here. And, you know, they wouldn't even let me smoke one until I had the pack in my hand. I got together with Dave and his guy from United, Oliver. And so we started our little private chat. And then he's like, okay, go ahead and light it up. And we were just talking and bullshitting. And as soon as I cut the cigar, I go, what is in this? You know? And
hey, Kevin, I'm going to tell you now, I was watching your video, right? So I'm watching it. I'm watching. He's like, all right, you're only going to be able to straight cut this. You can't V-cut this. You can't punch this. And I was like, Kevin, what the hell what do you got to smoking that you tell me I can't cut the cigar how I want to cut it?
Yeah, you can't even cut it, you know. So, but it's got a unique flavor. It's gonna, you know, what one thing I was trying to do with this one is, as cigar smokers, we all smoke with our eyes, we smoke with our brains, we smoke with our hearts. You know, I love Steve Saka. He puts out anything, I'm gonna smoke it. You know, and then that, you know, I know that maker, you know, I like that band. And then even if the cigar isn't that great, because I've had people tell me personally that they didn't really care for cigar reviewers, but they gave it a positive review because they didn't want to look bad to that manufacturer. And I'm like, well, that just makes you look bad to me. Those people watching review think that you really liked it.
Right.
Like, you know, so that's what we want to do, is kind of take all that out of the equation and make people rethink, you know, the like what it takes to make a cigar, what can go into a cigar, you know. So it's a little weird. If you go over to the Cigar Prop YouTube channel, you can find the Sticks and Stones video. In that video is a link that'll take you, because if you go to Two Guys, you can't find the cigar by searching. You have to have that specific link to find it. So at the first of next month, so May 1st, I think it's like a Saturday night, we're gonna go live. Oliver will be with me. You know, we'll start off talking a little bit about, you know, a lot of people don't know what United is, what Two Guys is, and then we'll have Oliver tell us about the wrapper, the binder, the filler, you know, and then
I'm looking forward to that. And like I said, you know, we want to give a huge shout out to Cigar Authority with David Garofalo and all Big Barry and all those guys. I would say, I know for sure, Kevin, I watch it. I know Lee does. I'm sure Carson does too. Great show. That's one that even if I don't catch them live, when I'm sitting down in my sunroom and got a lot of time to kind of spare, I always will click in on the episode because I'm always just listening. And I always listen to learn and just try to figure out what's going on. That's another great podcast show.
And they're great guys. And there has been nobody in the cigar industry that has stuck up for me over the last 6 months like those guys have. Now, there's a lot of us, you know, like I said, it's, you know, you hear something online, they'll call out somebody in a chat panel. Dave Garofalo called on the phone one of these bloggers and be like, hey, what's your problem with Kevin? Kevin's a good dude. You're looking like an asshole by going, online on these public forums and talking crap. It just, he doesn't just talk the, walk the walk. He talks the talk. He's
Right.
called this dude on the phone and be like, hey, you've been doing this for 20 years. That's not right. What you're doing is wrong. And Barry, sticks up for me. And those guys have been so good to me.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that channel. Like I said, I know. I don't know if Carson. I'm sure he does tune in, but I know Unc tunes in for sure. So definitely a huge fan of their channel. And like I was telling everybody in the chat, if you have not tuned in, maybe we'll get the link posted in the chat panel where, or Kevin, you can find the link and post it in the chat if people want to check out that cigar pack. It's what 4 or 5 cigars for $15.
Yeah, 5 cigars, $15.
So even if you don't like it, like you're out of what $3 a cigar. So I mean,
exactly. And I tell people, I said, even if you don't like it, once you find out about, that's why I tell everybody buy 2 packs, because once you find out about the cigar, you're going to call 2 or 3 of your buddies, like, you guys got to come over and try this cigar. You got to check this out.
No shade, but it's probably got to be better than a factory smoke, right?
It's different than a factory. I haven't smoked a factory smoke. Now, with that being said, I love the factory smoke Candela.
Man,
that cigar is off the chain.
Kevin.
Trash, Kevin. Trash. I'm sorry, brother.
You got to remember, like it's like $3 cigar, like that factory smoke. So when I take that into consideration. I'd rather smoke that $3 factory smoke Candela than that Padron 64. I'll smoke.
Oh, hold on, man.
No.
Now I'm gonna tell you, like brother Ox said, that shit is just disrespectful, Kevin.
That's disrespectful.
No, well, Padrones. Everybody knows Padrones kick my ass. I can't handle that fucking nicotine in the Padrones. Every single Padron I've ever smoked has dropped me to my knees, and I don't do them anymore.
Now, Kevin, you're a lightweight. That's why you're a lightweight.
I am. Yeah, Jessica, she's got a Padron drawer in the humidor. Jessica's got like 24 Padrones. She likes a Padron. She can handle it. I don't even give them a shot anymore.
I will say this, Kevin. Contrary to that, I'm glad you did include a Padron in your smoking sampler. You did.
Yeah, but that's the businessman in me. Even though that I know that Padron everybody loves that, and that's what I wanted with that sampler of just getting cigars, because I knew that was a great end of the night cigar. Everybody's had a big heavy meal. That spicy, nicotine filled, heavy bodied Padron was gonna satisfy everybody. So I had to include it.
Now, with me saying that too, I want to, I've got quite a few people in here. Of course, there's people that support all different clubs in here, which I'm grateful for. Like Lee says, there are clubs for everybody. Now me and James have kind of been, we haven't even really been teasing it out, but I've mentioned it to a few close people and they haven't leaked it. Thankfully, like I can tell the people that I told I can trust. But in June, me and James have decided to do another, I don't even really like calling it a tier because it's going to be a completely different experience, right? So we have the normal Black Line Luxury Cigar of the Month Club, which is the $30 a month plus shipping for 4 cigars. Some months you get 5. In June, we're going to start a club or a section called Black Line Select. It'll be a $75 a month club. You'll get 4 cigars a month. The only difference is, you guys know, the Black Line Luxury Cigar of the Month Club is wildly grown faster than our imaginations could have ever imagined. I don't have really free range on that to really just put whatever I want in there whenever I want because of the sheer volume. We're getting ready to unleash this. Black Line Select is going to be 25 spots. And Nick and James came to me one day. They said, we know you want to do this. You have free range. Whatever you want to put in this club, it's open game. Atabase, God of Fire, Padron, Davidoff. It's going we're going to be, James will be releasing some information here soon. We're going to release it. The first month will be a month before our year anniversary. I'm telling you guys, it's not going to be that many spots. It is going to be absolutely crazy what you guys know that I'm capable of putting in these boxes. The first month is going to be crazy. So I'm telling you guys now, for the people that I've snuck it out to and that were interested, this is something when it releases, you guys are going to want to be on top of. The motto for this one is going to be redefining cigar luxury. They gave me free range, so I'm gonna be able to put whatever I want in there. Whatever you think might be able to imagine in there, rare Opus X, Padrones, whatever. We're going all in. It's much easier to fulfill a 25 member area than a 600 plus, a 700 plus club. So y'all be on the lookout for that. I will be posting more information on my Instagram, of course. I'll probably come up separately and do a live stream talking specifically about that. But it's been in the talks for about the past 4 months or so. Something I'm very excited about. May see some custom blends in there that may not be put in the major club just because of the volume, but it is what it is. But just wanted to put that out there too. I know we got quite a few. I saw Prudence kind of sneaking in. I saw her in there too. So got some loyal Black Line fans. So this ain't the club again. Like Lee says, this ain't for everybody. But this ain't no club neither. This is gonna be some what'd you say, Lee? Some high priming.
High priming, baby.
There's gonna be some high priming here.
Stuff. We high priming. But here's the question I want to ask. Ashhead, I see you. You finished eating, brother. You finished drinking. I see my plate is empty here. I had a little fried porgies and hush puppies and string beans. I want to know what was on your plate there, brother.
Well, I was eating some meatballs. I put
they look like balls. I was guessing that.
Oh,
you know.
Don't know. My diet consists probably 95% meat, so I'm 95% carnivore. Everything else is usually probably like cookies because I love chocolate.
Kevin, I can see you being on the carnivore diet too. You strike me as a carnivore strictly.
Oh yeah. A lot. Yeah, salad isn't food. Salad is what food eats.
Easy.
Yeah, come on, man.
Hey, but you just came up with a good idea. I like that name of a cigar. Meat and cookies. Meat and cookies.
Yeah.
Meat and cookies.
Meat and cookies. But basically everything I've been listening to what you guys been saying, and just kind of piggyback on all that you guys been saying. First of all, the Black Line Luxury, the Black Line Luxury Select cigars. I was thinking about doing a segment on more high-end cigars, or doing a series on high-end cigars, and basically calling the series "Is It Worth the Price?" or something to that effect, where I would just review a cigar that maybe costs like $30 or $40, or even like $100 for, like, say, a Davidoff Royale, and seeing, okay, is it worth the price? So I'm really excited about that and a lot of the high-end cigars. Because I've been working at the shop, I've been smoking a lot more high-end cigars, and people probably think, well, you probably getting those cigars free. No, I get a discount, but I don't get discounts on anything that's high-end, anything that's Opus. I got to dig into my pocket. I got to go into my pocket and purchase the high-end stuff so that I can know how it is. I have a goal. I'm trying to smoke everything, because of course, you got customers every day that come in and say, hey man, you smoked this before, what you think about this, or what you think about that, or what you think about this. So I be wanting to give my honest opinion about every cigar, to say whether or not if I think it was good, or what I thought about the cigar, or something like that, when customers ask me about those particular cigars. But and thank you, Tim, that is a good idea. Hopefully nobody in the chat who's a country and carrier won't steal that idea. Yeah, that's the Blanche talk.
Hey man.
I forgot where I was going with that whole thing. But I'll try to go somewhere else. Shit.
Too much Blantons.
Oh man.
But yeah, this was what I wanted to say. I wanted to say this too, LeeMack, and I'll be trying to remember my thoughts. You sent me a La Palina cigar. I've been smoking up all the La Palinas we have since I smoked that La Palina that you sent me. I've smoked La Palina in the past and just forgot about them. A lot of the La Palinas that we get are the bigger ring gauge stuff. So I kind of I don't always smoke the bigger ring gauge stuff, because when you're working, and I know you work part-time at a shop, you can't finish a cigar a lot of times.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
It burning out. You got to relight, and if I would have to relight the cigar more than twice, I'm not gonna finish it, no matter what point or where I am in the cigar. I'm not gonna finish it and continue to smoke it. So I've been smoking the heck out of some La Polinas. First of all, the price on them is great, phenomenal, and they're just some really, really good cigars. But I wanted to say this to the people that are watching, mainly the people that are watching. I like to harp a lot on the cigar community and get the cigar community growing, get it growing. And the people that are watching, one thing we got to do is we got to stay passionate about the leaf, and we got to always recommend cigar to somebody who don't smoke cigars. Hey, how about trying a cigar today? My neighbor, he was outside. We always talk. They just got a new, him and his wife just got a new baby. I was like, man, you smoke cigars? He was like, no, but I am open to new things. I've been wanting to try cigars. I just never knew how to start or where to start. So in order to keep the cigar community growing and going strong, most importantly, because I got a career in cigars, so I don't want this shit to fizzle out. And I'm trying to feed my babies with these cigars. So
hey man, when I start this company, I'm gonna need you, man.
Hey, I can sell water to a well. Sell it. I can sell it, and that's why. And that brings me to another point. Hell, let the blast go. All right, that brings me to another point. Everybody be getting these damn new airs and selling them shit. New airs, send me some so I can sell this stuff.
Oh man, send my man Carson some new air stuff, man.
Oh, I'm telling you, I can sell, man. I've been in sales for over 20 years of my life. When I came out of high school, I tried college. I found out that college wasn't for me, but I still wanted to make a significant income to where I can support my family and support my kids, because I was popping out babies like a damn rabbit. And I wanted to be able to take care of them. So I got into sales because I knew that that was a business where I can write my own check. And I mastered it. I learned everything there was to know about sales. I mean, hey, painters always wear white. I can sell a painter a black suit to paint in versus white. If you want it sold, call Carson, Ashhead Cigar Junky, and I will sell it. I don't care what it is. You want to sell manure? I can sell it.
Hey, before we continue on, I want to give a shout out to John Wilhoit again. Man, John, that it ain't even the financial stuff. Me and John, man, that's my dude there, man. I remember the first time we got on the Black Line Zoom and he had a t-shirt on. That shit took me back by storm, man. John, hey, special place in my heart for you, brother. He said I'll pay the 8 months now to get right in. I know it will be epic. Before we continue on too, I forgot to mention too, this club is going to be different. It's not going to be a month by month thing. We're going to do it by quarter, because again, this isn't one that you need to be jumping in and out of. We're going to need a full commitment since it's not going to be as many members, so you'll have to pay per quarter. You're also going to be able to get a 20% discount code when we get it established, and also once you do a year completion of the Black Line Select, we will be doing a particular box of cigars that'll go out to the members. So just FYI. Now, Carson, what were you saying now? You're talking about selling ketchup to a popsicle to a painter?
Yeah, ketchup popsicle to a painter. I can sell ketchup popsicle to a painter. I can sell Bill Cosby Jello while he in prison. I mean, I can sell it, but I mean, I was just saying all that to say, man. Hey, the cigar community, support it. Support your brick and mortars. I was having a conversation. A guy was telling me, he was like, man, it seemed like Black Line Luxuries always have what I need or what I want when I go to their website, and I be trying to support my local spot. Well, I told him, I said, guess what? Black Line Luxury is a brick and mortar. So if you order from Black Line Luxury, you're still supporting a brick and mortar. So whatever you got to do to get your cigars, everything except for steal them, get them. If you got,
we ain't gonna talk about bro, man.
Hey, now, and listen, bruh man got some stuff in his trunk. That's all I'm saying. Bruh man had good prices. People want to know, they want to meet bruh man and they want to meet brother Dexter.
Brother Dexter.
I say, look, man, you don't never introduce nobody to the connect. That ain't the way this game works, man. It ain't like that. You know, and shout out to my sister over at La Vieda Negra Cigars. I was watching her on a cigar last night, on a Zoom last night, Instagram, and she was talking about the cigar business being very similar to the drug game. So if you know anything about the drug game, you know it's rules, like Biggie say, it's rules to this shit, you know? So, hey, it is what it is.
Those who know.
Well, bruh man got what you need. He always got everything you need at
now,
a good price.
Kevin, I ain't gonna put you out on Front Street. I think Kevin got a bro man around there somewhere too, man. Kevin be popping out some shit that I'll be like, wait a minute, man, how did Kevin get a hold of this?
I've just made really good friends. For some dumb reason, everybody loves me in the cigar manufacturers. I get just everything. You know, I don't know what it is. I guess it could be luck. It just could be they just really like me.
You're being yourself, Kevin. That's all it is.
Yeah.
You're just being yourself.
You know, and people just send me stuff, and there's stuff that we have that either cigars or swag that we've never shown. You know, people are like, hey, don't put this out here. This is just for you and Jessica. Smoke these, or just have this humidor, or have this. Just, you know, thank you for doing a good job. You know, and that's when it means the most. You know, when a manufacturer will send you something and be like, don't tell anybody about this. Don't even put a picture on Instagram. Just enjoy this. We like what you guys do. You know, so that's you know, that makes it nice.
Hey, Ron.
What you got?
Street taco, baby. And street taco is down to a nub. I might have to go find me another. I might have to find me another cigar to smoke. I wasn't like Ashhead. Ashhead was prepared. I was unprepared for school. You know, I don't want to have to light up just backwoods, but I just might have to. I don't know.
I lit up this Romeo. I know how y'all feel about this one, but I lit this one up. The Romeo and Julieta Reserva Real. Or as Mark from Robusto says, Real.
I say real, you know,
Real.
and I'm like real, you know, just like, you know, I'm like, it just can't be real.
Hey, and then let me you know how we are, man. We're gonna keep this shit 100 too. I've said this 1,000 times. The people that watch, and this is just particularly towards LeeMack, the people that have been watching and following Unc for all these years, and I see 60 people, 70 people, 80 people in his chat. And then everybody that watches the meet in the middle, we go over there, it's 20 people, 14. Come on, y'all. Come on, man. He's been running this show since 2015. Y'all ain't gonna sub up to Robusto and check out Unc on his Sunday show. Y'all watch his review at 1 in the afternoon. Go watch his show at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
But you know what? It's funny though. People will say, "Oh, I didn't know you had another show over there." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, yeah." That's
You've been putting it in videos forever. Don't get me started, man. I ain't even had enough to drink, but it's just I don't know, man. This is just me. Y'all don't mind me, man. Don't mind me. I don't understand that a person will sit there and comment and leave video. Man, I love what you do. All right, cool. If you love Lee, don't support everything. If you support, and some of these people might be, I don't know, but some of these people may be Patreon members. So if you're a Patreon member to Lee, that means you really support and love what he's doing. Go support that too. Go support his ventures, man. I want to know whenever I get my cigar company off the ground, y'all, all 100 and plus of y'all in here rocking with me, y'all gonna rock with me. Let me know if the cigar sucks or if it's not any good. But at the end of the day, I want y'all to know, like, hey man, Ron, we support what you're doing. We're gonna support you. Support it for real. Like I said, it's even to the smallest point where we're saying, damn, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Right. Kevin the same way. Same thing about I support everything Kevin does, but I like Kevin. I support what he does as a whole. So hell, I don't care if the cigars are trash or not. I'm gonna just go buy the damn. It was $15 for a pack of cigars. All right, cool, whatever.
Right, and then too, like you have to call a spade a spade. So it was a few years ago. Kevin sent me over a couple of his products that he makes or whatever. The cigar stand, you got the bleed tool, which I say is the best bleed tool on the market. If you got a butane lighter and you don't have the cigar prop bleed tool, I don't know what you're doing. But, you know, so then people will say, well, what about that scale you have or whatever? I said, I got it from Kevin. Oh, he must have sent that to you for free. I'm like, no, I bought that. I bought that because it was something that I needed and I wanted and I like it. And you see me pull it out just about every video, and I'll say, pull out my handy dandy cigar prop tool. You know, my measuring tool is very, for me as a reviewer, it's nice. I need it. I like it. I support Kevin. I support his business. You know, it's like Kevin doesn't get the stuff for free. He's gotta be able to put the material out, pay for it, do whatever he's got to do to design it. It costs him money. So if I could throw a couple of dollars back into his pocket, that's what I do. Ron and I were talking about discount codes or whatever, right? And so, you know, say, well, I'm a member of Black Lion Luxuries. I get the 15% off when I go to order from Black Lion Luxuries. For the most part, I don't use the discount code. I'm like, yeah, just put that back in the pot or whatever, because I support the cause. So let's do what we do, you know? So we got to support with more than just our mouth. And like you say, it's just a little thing. Even if you give a thumbs up, YouTube algorithm says, hey, listen, something's going on over there. They got 100 people watching, 100 thumbs up or whatever. Okay, maybe we'll push this content out a little bit more. Maybe somebody else will find them to say, oh, I didn't know anything about it. Ron and I were talking last night about there's a whole group of, I'm going to say, Black cigar smokers that are out there that have been out here for a long time. I'm gonna put them back there with Stogie TV.
Yep, TK.
And there's a whole group of these people that know each other. They rock with each other, and I'm like, I don't know them at all, but I got to get to know them because that's a whole nother group of people, good guys, you know, whatever. Everybody don't have to be black. I rock with Kevin. Kevin ain't black. He off the screen, but his chair is black right now. But
yep,
you know, but it's like, man, it doesn't matter. Good people are good people. Good guys are good guys. We got to learn to support our people with our money. And it's funny how you would say, well, I'm not going to buy Ron's cigar. I'm not going to buy Kevin's cigar or whatever, but let Nike come out with a new sneaker. Let so-and-so come out with a new expensive cigar from General Cigars or out to this or whatever, and everybody's running online to go get it.
Yep. And for me, I feel like the difference is you could go do that, but then you have the difference with us, like all of us on screen, you have the ability to have an actual personal relationship with that person. Mm-hmm. That should mean something. That should have some kind of value to it. If LeeMack decides to do a blend or something right now, everybody that supports Lee, that should mean something. You know, so I you know how I feel. And like I said, it doesn't even have to always be financially. Like I said, if people just want to, even something as small as sharing or liking the content, that stuff goes a long way. Like you said, a video that has 100 likes or doesn't get as far as a video that has 1,000 likes. That's more engagement. That stuff is important. So you guys got to keep that in mind. It might seem small to you, or this is what a lot of people I think will do. The next person to do it, so I don't have to worry about doing it. Mm-hmm. You can't bank on that. You don't know if the next person's gonna do it.
I give more credence to the troll that gives me a thumbs down on every single video before I get started than some other people. Why? Because the troll is consistent. The troll has said, hey, listen, I don't like you. I don't like what you're doing. I'm going to give you a thumbs down on it. I don't care what it is. I'm going to give you a thumbs down. But the troll is consistent with his thumbs down. I like it.
Yep. I would agree. Kevin, I want to ask you too, since you got back on, are you still producing those measurement tools?
Yeah, I've got them. We've got two different ones. We've got the one LeeMack here. This one's plastic, and then it's hard to see on camera, but it's.
I know I can see it.
Yeah, it's got the letters on it, and this isn't screen printed on. It's actually lasered under the plastic, so it'll never come off. And then we've actually got the other one here for people that wanted a little bit more, something a little nicer. It's all anodized aluminum.
Oh, that was nice there. I like that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got whatever budget that you have, and I didn't invent that. I was reading Cigar Craig one day on his blog, and he had a picture of an old one. It was like really short, and it was in the background. And I reached out to him. I go, "Hey, what is that? What is that like ring gauge thing in the back?" And he's like, "Yeah, they used to make these all the time in the 90s." and nobody's made one. They have like cheap paper ones or, cardboard ones they give out. And he goes, nobody's made one in like 10 years. I'm like, I can make one.
Yeah.
So I just reached out to my, my laser guy. We started off with wood, and then we went to plastic, and then we have plastic and aluminum. It's just one of those things. It's just keeping, it's like us doing cigar reviews. You've always got to keep your ears open for things that people want. It's just, I don't know if Ash Head or, LeeMack, does this, but way back in the day when I first started, I'd be on all the forums and all the Facebook groups, and everybody'd be talking about this La Palina, whatever, everybody just smoke. Everybody, have you tried this? Have you tried this? And then I'm like, oh, you go on YouTube and like, there's only a couple videos. I'm like, all right, let me go get one. So it's just keeping your ears out there and seeing what people want and then catering to that need.
Well, I'm gonna keep that in mind, Kevin, because I might need to talk to you about some particular things too. Maybe we can get a group in or something done, or we could do something.
Yeah,
figure it out. So,
I forgot for everybody sporting a beard, Kevin.
So y'all just gonna talk about beards right now?
Yeah, Kevin does.
That's what we're doing. Y'all just gonna talk about the beard? Okay.
Yeah.
I still use the beard balm. Well, I'm not rocking the beard now. I just got the chin hair, but I still use the beard balm that I bought from Kevin, and then it came also along with the Persian tube for your lighter, as well as the cigar prop. And I'll never forget it. When I first got it, I didn't even know what the Persian tube was, because, hey, good old Alabama boy, I always purge my lighter with a darn nail or something like that. So I was like, what the hell is this thing right here? I actually thought it was something to loosen my draw if my draw was tight. I think video when I got it, because that's what I thought it was, because I had never seen one before. I'm like, should I purge my cigar? I find a nail or either a match, something I can stick in that'll fit in order to purge it. That's what I do. If I can't open a box and I don't have a knife to open the box, I'm gonna find.
That's what I was gonna say. The most epic unboxing I think I ever seen. Carson was on film. You could tell he didn't have nothing around me. He was like, "Oh, I got a nail right here," and opened the box with a nail.
Yeah, I'm a mechanic, and LeeMack, you work with your hands. Sometimes when you need a tool, sometimes a wrench can be a hammer. Sometimes, but when you have the proper tool to do the job, it makes doing that job easier.
Yeah. Exactly right.
Hey, Kevin, I learned that early in life. My dad was a truck driver, so we put in a transmission in the truck in front of the street in front of my mother's house in the city without a transmission jack. So, you learn how to get the right tool, Yeah. And hey, Ron, I want to just jump over here on this other thing. One thing that you always say, and I credit you for this, and I tell people this all the time. People talk about, well, how did you develop your palate? So Ron will say, when you go in to buy cigars and you buy what you like, pick up something that you think that you might not like, you don't know about, is outside of your wheelhouse, and smoke that and see what you think about it, right? So that's what I just did. I went inside, I got a cigar from, it's Kellner Boutique Factory, KBF, whatever. It's a Cedro 194. I never heard of this cigar before. Never heard of it before. I was in the shop. I said, well, let me just pick this up. I just lit it up and said, damn, that's a pretty good cigar. Now, it could be old cigar. It could be something that's not available anymore.
Is that Kellner from, is that Henke Kellner?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, is it the Kellner that does Davidoff?
I believe it is. I believe it is. And it's probably an old cigar, an old brand or whatever. But then again, now, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to ask somebody else that knows about it. I'm going to do my Googles and see what I can find out about the cigar.
That's what I tell people all the time, because everybody's like, well, you haven't been smoking that long compared to a lot of people. And I say, well, the difference with me is, yeah, I've only been smoking 6 years compared to maybe some people that have been smoking 10 or 20 plus years, but I've smoked everything. Even though I'm on record saying I'm not very big in Connecticut's, that doesn't mean I don't pick up Connecticut's. That doesn't mean I don't pick up Habano. You smoke it all: Connecticut, Habano, Sumatra, Cameroon, Candela. Even for the Candela smokers like Kevin out there. But no, I was, you know what? I was really happy because I'm so high on Dion Giolito's blending. When you smoked the Illusione Candela and you were like, this might be one of the best Candela. And I was just like, dude, like, he is. And I think really with him having such a good website, because I went to it after you talked about it. And I was like, they do have a really good website. But you know what? With Dion not marketing as much as like a Steve Saka, Drew Estate, Padron, Fuente, but I trust in Dion's palate and his product is good. And that's why he's been able to sustain the test of time. Think about it. He came out in like 06 or 07, and he's still been able to do just as good as he was when he first started. You don't, I mean, now, of course, we can argue payola, but at that point when he was starting to get cigars on the top 25 list, Dion probably wasn't putting that much in the advertisement like that. That's a testament to that guy's palate. You know, and Christian Naro is another one of those guys that I've always heard crazy stories about. He could pick up a cigar and tell you what priming the cigar tobacco came. You know, it's just like, and even to this day, I'm still awed in. I'm like, how can you pick up a cigar and just break it down and tell you exact? Like Eric Espinosa has a story about Dion picking his cigar apart to the very last leaf, and he had to lie about the last leaf so Dion wouldn't know his exact blend. That's a gift.
Yeah,
that is a straight up gift. So somebody that can do that, it's not a surprise to me that he produces good cigars. I would say probably 1 in 1,000 people, maybe it's probably fewer than that, could just pick up a cigar and say, yeah, this is Viso probably from the second priming. This is Ligero from, and it's just like, you know, and even on the Zoom call we had with Kyle Jellis from work the other day, very good note that he made. He's like, I can go in the lounge and I can tell if somebody's lighting up a Medio or a cigar that has Medio Tiempo in it. It just burns and smells different. When you're around tobacco so much and you're enveloped in it so much, it becomes second nature. That's how I'm trying to get to, you know, where I'll be able to pick up a cigar that's unbanded and be able to tell you, like, yeah, this is.
Oh, you cracking up there, Ron?
Yeah, I think you
like an Indonesian. It has an Indonesian bond, or this surprised me. I want to get that good with something because I always felt knowledge and be the best like you. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. I think you're back now.
Am I still freezing, or can you hear me?
No, yeah. I think now. Yeah, you're good now.
Okay, all right. So
now, Ashhead, what are you thinking about Candelas? You digging on Candelas? You find a good one yet?
Yeah, the Candela that Ron just mentioned is the one that I like a lot. I'm gonna step out on the ledge, and I'm willing to die on this ledge. I've had a Louisiana Candela. It was an old one. It was so old till it wasn't green anymore. It had faded.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah.
I smoked a day after I smoked a Cuban cigar, and I promise you, it tasted exactly like that Cuban cigar. Exactly like it.
Well, if it was probably 15 years old, I wouldn't say that was too far-fetched because it probably was nice and mellow and you were just getting all flavor.
And I'm willing to just step out on that ledge and die. It tasted.
Now, Carson, you know, saying that that's sacrilegious now. You know, them Cuban purists gonna say, ain't no way in hell a New World cigar tastes like a Cuban.
Yeah.
This Candela, it tasted just like the Cuban that I had smoked. And I'm
what I'll say about AJ Fernandez, even though I'm not his biggest fan, his construction always is on point. I ain't never gonna deny that. I don't know what AJ does, but
I think that was cigar and spirit cigar of the year, that Nicaragua.
It was for some. Who was it?
Cigar and spirit cigar of the year.
Okay. What were you saying,
Hey, Kevin, I'm gonna tell you the Candela that I like the most. I'm gonna go right over into your Drew Estate bag. Is that Swamp Thing?
Oh yeah.
The KFC, and I suggest that in the shop to a lot of people. I go, well, if you don't like that Kentucky Fried Cured, try this one because it's got enough KFC in it that you don't necessarily taste the Candela, but it's got enough Candela that you don't necessarily taste the KFC. It's a good mix. I love that one.
Yeah, there's a couple of good Candelas supposed to be coming out this year. A few more manufacturers. I don't think Saka is going to bring his out this year. I think it's going to be next year. You know, I think that's going to be next year's Moestra is going to be the Candela. I'm interested to see how he blends a Candela, especially for someone that hates Candela. He hates Candela, but he also hates Lanceros, and he knocked it out
too.
And he nailed it out of the park with that one. So there's a couple good Candelas coming out. There's going to be one that Ron's gonna, you know, I don't think I've mentioned this to Ron. There's going to be, you know, I'm helping on another one, Candela. That's all I'm gonna say, Ron. If you know, it's gonna make you think twice about Candelas. This.
All right,
you know,
and that's why I said we're gonna be working on a few projects this year too with some pretty big factories. So I'm really excited. This is gonna be a good ass year, man. This is gonna be good. It's actually good for me that I feel like I'm taking a break. I just need a little bit of rejuvenation, kind of another spark. So I think it's gonna be good. I'm excited to see what you got going on. I know you're working with some pretty reputable brands and some owners. So I'm excited to see all this stuff coming out. And, you know, like we mentioned, we touched on earlier, I think the cigar community is in good hands. I think it's going to be really good for a long time. You know, when I first started smoking, there was a very big spike in cigar smokers. Then it dipped down. It seemed like probably from like 17 to 2019-ish, somewhere it dipped down a little bit. Now it started back up, and I think it's going to be here to stay now. I think everybody that's jumping in cigars now are staying around and smoking cigars. I don't think it's still trendy, but not as trendy as it was like 5 or 6 years ago.
But you know, it's funny that at one point Candela was the typical cigar in the U.S. that people smoked. All cigars were Candela.
Yeah, up until the mid '60s.
Yeah.
You know, the American market selection. You know, everything was green, and then the Cuban embargo hit, and nobody could get Candelas. You know, Cubans grew all the Candela. You know, that's why I've asked a lot of the manufacturers about what happened with Candela. You know, there's a great book that everybody should read, and it's I forget the name of it offhand, but it's about the cigar factories in the late 1800s, real early 1900s, and it's not like a biography. It's just a historical fact book, and just like what companies produced, and it's everything about rollers. I mean, back in the day, rollers were the rock stars. You know, like I said, if you saw a guy walking down the street that had the single most expensive suit in the city, he was a cigar roller. You didn't even have to question what he did. He was a cigar roller. But there was a comment, you know, about the Candela cigar, and someone in the book said, you know, they really liked the sweetness of the Candela because it was very reminiscent of a pineapple. So I've asked cigar manufacturers that, you know, all the old guys, I'm like, what happened? Where did the pineapple go? You know, where did that inherent sweetness go? And a lot of the info I get, like, it just didn't come out of Cuba, you know, like that information, you know, once the embargo hit, whatever it is they were doing, it just died there, you know, and that's where it stayed. So one day we'll get that sweet pineapple, like, you know, that or pineapples really sucked back in the day. Like they were just horrible. Now they got sweeter, you know.
And that's one of my favorite fruits. So I'm like, pineapple, I'm all in on that usually. Like I'm pineapples and mangoes, like I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the day when the embargo ends and all of our favorite cigar blenders are able to use some Cuban tobacco along with their blends. I'm the guy, I like stuff that's new and that's different. So like there's a couple of African cigars that are out now, Italian, there's even a Chinese cigar. I'm like, I want to taste it all.
Right. Yeah, I think one of the major players I would love to see deal with some Cuban tobacco would be like Rainier Lorenzo with HVC, just because of his roots and him being from Cuba. Like I can only imagine some, and then combining it with some Aganorsa stuff too. Like I know that would be sky's the limit on that one.
So I went and got the book. It's called Once a Cigar Maker. It's called Men, Women, and Work Culture in American Cigar Factories, 1900 to 1990.
I gotta order that.
Yep.
So you can get it. You can get it on Amazon. It's by Patricia Cooper, called Once a Cigar Maker.
And listen, Kevin, I did my Googles. I got a link right here. It took me 2 seconds. I'm right there, brother. Hardcover.
I'm telling you, if you are a cigar lover, this book will blow you away. I mean, it's everything about the unions. It's just everything about, you know, there was a great story in there about a cigar factory owner and how strong the unions were. That one day all the rollers came in and he put new lockers up in like where they changed their clothes. They used to hang their suit coats on a hook, or nail on the wall. So he installed all these beautiful lockers. They went on strike. They left the building because they weren't consulted about the lockers, about the design or anything else. They went on strike. And
I'll be ordering that book tonight. Don't worry.
It is a fantastic read.
It's in my cart already. I'm there.
Yep, I'll be ordering that book tonight.
Talking about Cuban cigars and like just different unique cigars, because LeeMack say he like new and different things. I got a question. Somebody may know this, and I was trying to get more information on it. Cowboy did a review on it, the Upsetter. Is the Upsetter still the same cigar that it used to be? The Upsetter, if you guys know about the Upsetter, that's the Jamaican cigar, and the reason why I got its unique flavors is the way they did the pest control over the tobacco is how it got its unique flavor. Is the Upsetter still that same cigar today?
I mean, the Upsetter is an infused cigar.
Yeah.
But originally it wasn't infused.
Oh.
Originally it wasn't infused.
Okay, so so was it the original was because the Upsetter is made by Nick Melillo Foundation.
Correct.
Yeah,
but what they're doing now is like you said, it's infused, but so Jamaica used to grow quite a bit of tobacco that was used a lot in a lot of cigars, but now it's not used as much anymore.
Yeah. I've only smoked it for like the last year, so I don't know that it was ever different.
Yeah, it was different because what happened was the Upsetter, the Jamaican tobacco was an insect or something that used to get on it. In order to keep that insect off of it, they used to mix vinegar and I think it was honey. And as the plant grows, they would spray it with that vinegar.
You muted yourself, brother.
And Carson going in and going mute. You mute.
You mute.
Unmute yourself, Carson.
Muting.
Yeah, you muted.
Yeah, you mute. You good now.
Can y'all hear me now?
You're going in now.
Hear me?
Yeah, no, I'd never heard that story, so I don't know.
James and Cowboy both said it's the same blend.
Still the same blend. Okay. I see it in the
same
comment.
blend. Yep.
Yeah,
now, this happens to me on all Cuban cigars. Y'all see how that band's coming off all shitty?
Yeah.
Let's say the Espinosa Reggae was one of the worst cigars I ever smoked. Is it made with Jamaican tobacco? I'm pretty sure that Colin, I'm pretty sure that Reggae does have Jamaican tobacco in it, because especially with the bread.
It does, and I like that. That had that Jamaican cow tongue tobacco in it.
Yeah, I thought the Reggae. I thought that was okay. I thought it was an okay cigar.
Is that the one that had like the multiple heads coming off of it?
Yeah, it had like the dreadlocks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to make sure we didn't miss nothing else. But yeah, I didn't want to take too much time from you guys, man. It just popped up, and like I said, I think this was a pretty good chat. We had quite a few people in here for the whole time, man. Like I said, I always enjoy talking to all of you guys, man. Even off camera, it's always nice for me. Like, I feel like this is a part of the cigar community. When I first started smoking cigars, you just never saw this. You never saw content creators getting together, Zoom and Herf. It just was never there. Like, and I feel like I always still consider myself a viewer too. I feel like it's such a luxury to just be able to know at any given random point something could pop up and you just get a lot of your favorite content creators, or just things that this didn't happen in 2015. So,
it didn't. I mean, the first time I had ever heard anybody mention another content creator was from LeeMack. Like, you looking when Brad and Tim were together, Delicia, the cigar vixen, Brian Glenn,
Tim Rollins.
Tim, they never mentioned.
They don't ever talk about anybody else.
Yeah, they never mentioned any, and and whatever. I mean, I don't have any hard feelings. They don't want to talk about that. It is what it is. But yeah, it wasn't until LeeMack that where you heard someone say, hey, you should go find this guy.
Yep.
And then before, I mean, you never saw content creators together like this. It just didn't.
Even from the time that LeeMack started to now, like I feel like LeeMack was, like I always call him the OG. He's the forefather of that era, or not that. We of course we pay our respects to Cigar Obsession for being the founder of Cigar Reviews, but then LeeMack changed it, and then I feel like now that there's a new era that started now. It's just things have changed. Even LeeMack, and like I've said before, I've always paid my respects to LeeMack, and he knows this too. I've said, in order to stay relevant, you have to, like I said before, to say that you don't watch other reviewers or you don't know what's going on is complete bullshit. Think about this. To stay relevant or to stay on top of things, you have to stay relevant and you have to stay in tune with what's popular or what's going on now. That doesn't mean that you have to compromise who you are, but you obviously understand, hey, it's going this way. I'm gonna have to shift. And if you've really been a follower of LeeMack from that long, you can see the progression and the changes that have happened. And now it's just the facts. We are just in a new era now. It's a new time. So
it really is. It's for the last probably 2 years. It's been a new game.
But like I said, when this thing gets done processing, of course, in the description tab, I'm gonna have everybody's links. If you guys, of course, I'm assuming that everybody that's following me follows all of you guys too. But of course, there might be some people that are tuning in for the first time. So Kevin, if anybody needs to reach out to you, where do they need to reach out to you? And we'll do the Instagram tag last because that's where the naked pictures are.
Yeah, it's everywhere is Cigar Prop. You can Instagram, YouTube,
TikTok,
Facebook, TikTok. TikTok's been big for us. So TikTok, doing good over there.
So make sure y'all are following Kevin at Cigar Prop. He does unboxings, he does product reviews, cigar reviews. He's the man. Which is funny because like me and Kevin, we had to talk where somebody challenged me about being the walking advertisement, and I was like, "Well, shit! If I'm an advertisement, what is Kevin?"
Yeah, I got giant fucking signs behind me all the time.
I'm like, how am I at walking advertisement?
Yeah, I got hats, I got T-shirts, I got signs. But yeah, and then plus we're gonna be giving a ton of stuff away. We just got a shipment yesterday from a Fox Cigar. I think they sent me, I don't even know how, a couple hundred cigars, some travel humidors, so we'll be giving those away.
So if you are into giveaways and you want to follow a good channel, make sure you are following Cigar Prop. He's always giving out stuff. The contests are always very simple. He doesn't make you reach over, bend over, and do all this stuff to win. He usually is like, hey, comment on the video or whatever. He gives you a good shot. So always a huge shout out to Kevin at Cigar Prop. Shout out to Jess as well. I know she's working, but would love. Eventually, we got to do a herf with Jess involved too. We got to get Jess on something too.
I know, we need to for sure. Maybe the next one, with a little more notice, and we can get her on.
Yeah, for sure. Carson, what about you, brother? Where everybody can find you? We know you're doing big things over. Let me talk to you, Carson. How you be talking to us, Carson? Let us know where we can find you at.
Hey, Ashhead. Ashhead.
Yeah, you got screwed it up. You had one job. One job.
Hey, Ashhead Cigar Junky. You can find me at Ashhead Cigar Junky on all social medias. Ashhead Cigar Junky. Hey, I am Ashhead and I am the Cigar Junky, guys. Follow me for some positive content, high energy, and you will not be disappointed. And I feel like I'm talking in slow motion. So I'm just gonna have one more.
You gotta deliver it how only you can deliver it.
I'm gonna have one more.
But next up, man, we got the GOAT in the building. Like I've always said, the greatest of all motherfucking time, man, the best one to ever do it. Tell us where we can reach it.
I appreciate that. I still feel like, hey, look, I'm just a man in my garage smoking cigars, and I got a couple people, like you say, that likes to fucks with me a little bit. LeeMack 912, and when Ron puts this up, he's gonna fix my name and put the K on the end of my name, but it's LeeMack 912, M-A-C-K. I know, Ron. Yeah, it's all good. It's all love. But follow me on Instagram. I started doing my good morning posts again, my motivational thing to get you started in the morning, to remind you that today is going to be another great day. My grandkids watch it every day, and they say, all right, Foster say it's going to be a good day. It's going to be a great day. So LeeMack 912, and I appreciate everybody. I appreciate all the support, but not only just for me, I appreciate the support for my brothers. My brother Vic is not on here, but he's not doing a whole lot of stuff right now, but he's got some old videos out there. Triple Cap Show. Follow Vic, the High Desert Man. Vic, the High Desert Man. He's on hiatus because he got some other things to do, but he's a good brother. Vic and I are going to be hanging out at Cigar Fest this year, 2021, long as they don't cancel it, which I don't think they will. Vic, the High Desert Man, and LeeMack 912 will be there together. So follow everybody that's on the panel, especially thanks to our host, RonRealTV. They might call me the GOAT and the king, but he is the prince and the heir apparent. Like Ron said, the cigar industry and the reviewer industry is in good hands because we have some good people out here putting out good content. Not only the people that are on this screen, but there's a lot of other good content out there. I say follow your favorite cigar reviewers, and when you follow them, make sure you give them a thumbs up.
That's all we ask, ain't it? Just hit that thumbs up, man. But like I was saying earlier, none of this stuff goes unnoticed, man. We appreciate all you guys. This is just a random day during the week, and I'm just thrilled that 90, 100 plus people have watched this for as long as we did. I'm a huge supporter of everybody on the panel. There are some channels that I support that aren't on the panel today. But like Lee just said, if you like your favorite content creator, if it all else just fails, just give them a thumbs up. Help get their content out there further to a bigger, broader audience. Hey, man, not really much else needs to be said. Lee says he's just a man in his garage. I just say I'm just a kid from Memphis, man, that likes cigars. That's all I do. All the people that I've grown to grow fond of, all the people that I've encountered, has just been a great experience. I've met quite a few great people, a lot of people in the chat. Hey, man, I'm not going to keep y'all forever. Just make sure y'all following y'all's favorite content creators. Hit that like button, share that content. Even if you can't catch them when they drop in live content, go over there and catch them when you can't hit that thumbs up. And on that note, man, y'all know what it is. Y'all know the name of the game is relaxation and enjoyment. And damn sure don't forget to be driven, never motivated. We're going to catch y'all in the next one. Y'all be good. Go ahead.
Hey, before we go, though, because we all got them sign outs. Go ahead, Ashley. Give your sign out.
Go ahead,
Ash. Ashhead out.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Make sure you give your cigars the props they deserve.
And I always say, today is another great day because your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between the truth and the lie. So you might as well tell it something good first thing in the morning. Ron, take us on out, baby.
Y'all need me to hit it again. Y'all want to hit it again?
Say it again. Say it,
baby.
Say it with pizzazz.
Relaxation and enjoyment. And damn sure don't forget to be driven, never motivated. Hey, and like he said, tell your mind something positive, because at the end of the day, that's all that's gonna drive you. We're gonna be driven, never motivated. Y'all be good, smoke good cigars, don't smoke that bullshit. Hey, love y'all, man. Y'all be good. We're gonna catch y'all on this next one.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.